From coloring books to record covers, rainbows are everywhere. I bet you can even remember the colors without thinking twice. Although in real life, no one really says indigo, but I guess Roig doesn't really have the same ring to it. As anyone who's tried to chase one finds out, a rainbow isn't really there. You can't go over it, and you can't get to the end of it. It's become this mythical representation of the unattainable. In Navajo and Norwegian mythology, it's a bridge that only gods could take between heaven and earth. And for Christians and Buddhists, rainbows are a level of peace and forgiveness. And in some cultures, it's a really long and colorful unicorn. Of course, just because a rainbow isn't really there doesn't mean we can't explain how it works. The better question is, why is a rainbow? And that answer is 42. Let me explain. A rainbow exists because of light, water, and a little bit of physics. Let's start with sunlight. It looks white. Now, to some that seems like the absence of color, but thanks to Isaac Newton, we know that white light is really the sum of all visible wavelengths, from short to long, and all the colors in between. It makes you wonder, if there are colors in between other colors, then how many colors is a rainbow really made of? Anyway, so we've got light, and now we need water. On a rainy or misty day, the sky is filled with tiny droplets. They aren't quite as small as the droplets in clouds, though, which is why we don't have awesome-looking clouds. Well, some of you might be saying, but Joe, I've seen a rainbow in a cloud before. Well, that's not really a rainbow, but we'll talk about that another time. Those suspended liquid prisms are surface tension on its smallest scale, and the droplets are pulled into the shape of a sphere. Each one can catch sunlight and become its own part of the rainbow factory. Here's where we add in the physics. Sunlight starts by entering a raindrop from behind you. The light goes from one medium, air, into another, water, and that causes it to bend slightly thanks to a process called refraction. Different wavelengths of light bend at different angles, so this causes the white light to separate. The bent sunlight then reflects off the back of the raindrop and refracts again on the way out. When we measure the angle between the light that went in and the red light that comes out, the answer is 42 degrees. So how many drops does it take to make a rainbow? Well, a lot. Because each color exits at a different angle, one raindrop will send red light into your eye and another drop will send violet light. The same thing happens with all the colors in between, each coming from their own droplet. And what about the shape? I mean, we call it a rainbow for a reason. It's not a rain line or a rain zigzag. See, you and your eyes are at the apex of a huge half cone, and at the other end is the water that makes the rainbow. This gives a rainbow that curved shape we all know and love. Everything that you see is because that light is coming back right to where you are. No one else is experiencing exactly the same rainbow as you. If everyone's rainbow is unique, does your rainbow look like my rainbow?